All right, welcome to part two
Part
of
two.
Twin Tarot. How to hit the pause button instead of the stop button.
The stop button.
Now, I am not one to criticize. I have done that a number of times, which is why I recognized it immediately when he did it.
Yeah, he's like, don't hit the... It was like slow motion. Don't hit the stop button.
All right, so that's why there's a part one, part two. We were going to pause and ask what the next question was going to be after a lengthy debate.
And then we forgot what the question was, so now we just went and had a snack and just caught up on how our days went.
The questions are going to be basically, will Judge Chutkin hold a hearing, or will the evidence of this case be presented before the election with a follow-up question? Will it make a difference? Because maybe Judge Chutkin starts a hearing or a trial 2 days before the election, which is probably not enough time to make a difference in the election.
Right.
But if she does it, several weeks before the election, then that'll make a difference.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
He is only answering in single syllables now.
For entertainment purposes only.
That's not a syllable. That's multiple syllables.
That is.
Oh. You have to use each one as a different word.
Oh.
For and
no. Throw the damn cards. God.
Oh my God! Look at that card. That's amazing. Well, this reading's done.
Yes, it's
We're
a
not
shame
gonna
you can't see it. It's an amazing card.
Yeah, just send $5.
Yes, we're gonna have a Patreon where if you want to see the card,
oh wow,
you have to have a monthly subscription.
No,
okay, let's come
no
down and look.
clickbaiting here.
Let's go look and see what we got here.
Ace of Wands. Okay, what this question is: will she have this court case prior to the election? That's pretty much a resounding yes. This is kind of like a come hell or high water. I am going to force this case to go forward. If I have to pound that square peg into that round hole to get it to fit in my schedule, you better believe I am. She's done. She is done. She's seeing what's going on here. Crossed with the Five of Coins, I think, and the Two of Wands. She's been ready to do this for a while. I think she really feels that not presenting the evidence in this case is doing a disservice to Americans. Yep. People need to know their values on who they're going to vote for to put in the White House. And the losers in all this are the American people. All these delays, the American people lose on this. She's ready to go. In the past, we got the Devil card. This is Trump and all his delay tactics. Yep. Everything he can do to delay. He's finally got this thing up to the Supreme Court, who obliged him and delayed this thing for 8 months. But we have a problem here, Houston. Just like the Steve Bannon delays, 4-month prison sentence that he is now required to report on July 1st, Steve Bannon's going to be off the airwaves for the 4 months right up to the election.
Right up to the election.
He gets released from prison on November 1st. Yep. And the election's November 2nd.
November 5th, I thought.
5th, whatever. He's got a few days. He could have been pounding his the Trump supporters all summer long, but now he's lost that opportunity. And this could be the same thing for Trump, that Judge Chutkin gets this thing in there just before the election so people get to hear that information.
Yeah, it's November 5th is the election.
Okay. The current situation is the Nine of Coins. To me...
Is that Judge Chutkin?
It could be. I think this is just more the wealth of information that needs to be presented for people. Is she going to get it done before the election? I think so. I think we're going to have... This could go up 9 weeks before the election, which would put us... beginning of September, which I think you were saying earlier.
End of September is like that 90-day window. Like the third week of September.
So it could be up to 9 weeks. It could be less than that, but I think she's going to get information out there. Overarching energy is the Four of Cups. This is not ideal. However this goes out, it's not ideal because it's not the jury trial, which I think she would have just liked to have. This is probably her having to go through that hearing to decide what's presidential and not presidential. We need to decide which gives Trump presidential immunity. He can
right.
hang out with his bird and his money. And which stuff was private stuff here. This is not ideal because it's not in front of the jury. And, it also gives the defense time to hear all the evidence the prosecution has and how they're going to present it. But you know what? There's no defense for Trump in this. There never has been. The other thing, the other dissatisfaction is there's going to be people watching this that are going to hear stuff that they've not heard before because their news silo hasn't been reporting it.
Yep.
And they're going to be given a lot of medicine that they don't want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess who's going to be testifying against Donald Trump in these January 6th things?
Oh, Republicans.
It's not the Democrats. Yeah. It's going to be Republicans.
Yeah, this could be all those Republicans that refused to watch the January 6th hearings because, it was just the Nancy Pelosi show that may end up finding out that, the stuff that was going on, no one told us about this. We didn't know about that.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, ouch. The lesson to be learned is the Ten of Swords. However this works out, this does not work out well, and I don't mean for Judge Chutkin.
Yeah, this is coming to an end.
Yeah,
a very painful end.
Very painful, and this is just going to be, as much as you want to turn away and disbelieve everything you're hearing, there's going to be so much stuff coming out from so many different people. They can't all be anti-Trumpers. Mm-hmm. And we're talking again people that are Republicans, people that were in the Trump administration, in the inner circle. Your Mark Meadows, for God's sake. It's his lawyers. These are all people that were in the inner circle. They can't all be never Trumpers, or else why were they there in the first place? The outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Things of value, finding a use for everything. It may not be the jury trial that we want that would incarcerate Donald Trump for the rest of his life, but it might be the golden egg that we need for this election to make sure that he doesn't see the inside of the Oval Office again. And after the hearing, you can have the trial.
Yeah, that's true. And the Pentacle might also be the information, the valuable information that a lot of conservative Republicans who are in the Fox News echo chamber finally needed to hear to see what the hell was actually going on. It's kind of like
they're so damaged. They're so damaged.
It's kind of like in the Hush Money case, where the one guy, the one juror who got all his news through Truth Social.
Yeah.
He listened to the evidence and he voted to convict. I mean, it's like you were saying on a previous video. If you could get these folks out of the echo chamber and just give them facts and present it in a dispassionate, factual way, they can come around. They are thinking human beings. It's just everything they've been told and reinforced is that it's just the Democrats trying to go after Trump. And Fox is telling them this, Newsmax is telling them this. All their news sources telling them that, Truth Social, that this is just Democrats trying to get even with Trump and are out to get him. And here you're in a court of law talking about facts and evidence, and Jack Smith is going to put forth a case that may actually get these Republicans to stop and say, you know what?
They'll be waiting for Donald Trump to get up there and testify and rebut everything.
Yes.
Guess what they're going to be waiting for? They're going to be waiting a long time for that.
Waiting for that Fifth Amendment is what they're going to be waiting for.
There's no chance he's going up and testifying. And you can imagine how frustrating that must be if you're a MAGA supporter, even if you're just a pro-Trumper or a Republican who thinks that Hillary Clinton's the most evil person on the planet.
Well, they're kind of a competition.
You got to be wondering. It's like, come on, Trump, go up there and tell them like it is, like you do in your rallies, and he just won't do it. It's got to be frustrating because it's like, you say you got all this information, share it. It's in the courts. You've been telling us for years that you've got all this information, and if the courts just heard it, they'd know, they'd recognize it, and he never shares it with the courts.
Eventually, they're going to figure it out. You hope.
They're freaking slow, man.
Me? Or the Republicans?
The ones that are believing Trump and just can't understand why he's not up there defending himself. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, for God's sake.
Well, critical thinking is so overrated.
Let's see if this case makes a difference in the elections.
There you go.
Again, you only need a couple percentage points. makes those swing states really difficult to win.
Yep.
All right. Will this make a difference? Eight of Wands. Things traveling quickly over the airwaves. That's positive here. There's your decision time. People need to make decisions. And if they're watching the court case and they're following the news, they're going to get that.
Oh,
well, underneath it ain't no brawl like a drunken hillbilly brawl.
Yeah, it got a whole bunch of chaos going on.
There's going to be, I think this is going to make a difference in that. Now, the MAGA folks are going to be all riled up. They're going to be like a hornet's nest going out there voting for Trump and driving their trucks and looking for tranches of illegal ballots being brought in by milk truck to Democratic counties or something like that. And then there's Biden. And it's like you've got this information on the bad behavior of Donald Trump, and you have to make it's going to cause a lot of anxiety and strife
and chaos. Yeah.
You've got a choice to make. Do you vote for the guy you've always been voting for, or do you vote for the guy who probably won't, who will keep your democracy intact?
Yep. It's the chaos to me is as that truth starts coming out and you start realizing you've been duped.
Yeah.
And you've been lied to, and what you thought was true is really not true. Then you start looking at that devil card and say, what did I hitch myself to?
Yeah.
And then
some people will be like that. Some people will willingly take that off and vote for Biden.
Yeah.
And that five of wands could just be the internal turmoil of, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this, but maybe this one time I'll do this just because. Heck, if they just don't vote for Trump, that's pretty good. A vote for Biden's even better. That's twice as good.
Yes, indeed.
But will it make a difference? It sure looks like it'll make a difference. And it's got everything to do with the timing, because it looks like this information gets out right before the election, so it's still fresh in people's minds as they go in to the voting booth, pull that curtain, and start deciding who they're going to vote for. Some people are probably going to pause, not vote for a president or vote for the party that they would not normally vote for because they got to see what happened. I don't think it's going to be huge numbers, but right now you don't need huge numbers. You just need small percentages.
Yep.
1%, 2% can make a huge difference.
Yeah, especially the swing state where some of those elections were, won by just
like
thousands,
3% of the vote or something like that. If you can skim off a percent or two, makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all I got.
Wonderful. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate
both
it.
Parts if we haven't figured out a way.
Parts 1 and 2.
If we don't figure out a way to merge these
exactly.
two.
I'll ask my son if he knows how to do it.
But likely it's going to be part 1 and part 2. But that's why.
Yeah.
Pause buttons versus stop buttons.
Oh, let me hit the pause button again. So please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. I read all of the comments. It's starting to take a lot longer. We've had some good videos and lots of people with stuff to say. So leave a comment. I respond. I look at all of them.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.
Take care. Bye.